Well, here comes another Helping of the Pie spin-off. Let's talk about American Pie presents The Book of Love. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings my fellow YouTubers and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Doyle, better known to you as the Big D, so I'll be bringing to you all another American Pie review and another review of its spin-off series, American Pie Presents. If you haven't seen my reviews for the American Pie theatrical films and the first 3 American Pie Presents flicks, click on that card coming up right about now, there we go, for the playlist so you can catch what you might have missed or see them again if you'd like. But for now, let's talk about American Pie Presents The Book of Love from 2009. Released by Universal, as of course being the first to be done by Universal itself after its subsidiary Rogue Pictures became Focus Features. It's the 4th installment of the American Pie Presents series. And was directed by John Putch. It was a direct-to-video release, and well, yeah, but anyway, this time we got mostly new characters and what have you. So, if you're ready, let's get into this. In East Great Falls, Michigan, 11 years after the events of the first film, high schooler Rob masturbates with a peanut butter sandwich, and his dog attempts to eat it, and his younger brother Cody films the ordeal and uploads it to YouTube. At school, an embarrassed Rob meets his fellow virgin friends Nathan and Marshall, also called Lube. And Nathan reveals that his girlfriend Dana has pledged to abstain from sex until marriage, despite having already slept with several people. Classmate Scott Stifler threatens to make a move on Heidi, Rob's crush, and Lube has a vivid fantasy about cheerleader Ashley. Rob and Heidi meet in the library where she reveals a desire to lose her virginity as soon as possible. At the school dance, Nathan offends Dana when he expects sex after giving her cunnilingus in the parking lot. Rob attempts to tell Heidi his feelings for her, but is interrupted by Nathan and Lube, and eventually finds her in the library about to have sex with another student. Shocked, Rob drops a lit tiki torch, starting a fire and set off the sprinklers. The next day, while Rob and Heidi are cleaning the library for detention, Rob finds the Bible. No, it's not what you think. If you remember what we saw in the first movie, it's a legendary sex manual compiled by students over 40 years, now damaged by the water. Testing a tip from the book, Rob approaches Ashley in a lingerie store and compliments her. She leads him into a changing room, shows her breasts, and shoves some panties down his pants and tells him to walk out with him. Rob is caught and forced to pay with his mother's credit card. At Dana's church service, Nathan accidentally broadcasts their highly personal conversation to the entire congregation over the PA system, and Dana's father forbids her to see Nathan. Rob's mother confronts him about her credit card charges, and Rob's sarcastic reply that he likes wearing women's underwear is filmed by Cody, who again posts the footage online for the whole school to see. At a school basketball game, Rob is unable, to tell Heidi how he feels. Following a page in the Bible, Rob and his friends visit a Canadian brothel with a very experienced prostitute, Monique. However, the entry was written in 75, which Lube misread as 95. 1975, 1995. And the friends are disgusted to meet the now elderly Monique. She dies while performing fellatio, or how the heck you pronounce it. I'm sorry, on Rob, and the panicked boys drive home. Rob finally tells Heidi he has feelings for her, and she reciprocates, agreeing to meet later at Stifler's party. There, Heidi is hurt to hear Rob shout, "Tonight, I'm getting laid." Lube propositions, actually, but she turns him down. Her friend takes him up on his guarantee of sexual satisfaction, but storms out after finding an offensive text on his phone. Nathan tries to reconcile with Dana, but offends her again. Ron finds Heidi in bed with Stifler and begins drinking heavily. He declares that only assholes get laid and behaves cruelly to a random girl who promptly goes to bed with him, but he vomits on the girl's back before they can have sex. The next morning, his mother shows him a video she received of the incident. Pitiful. Rob and his friends resolve to find all the Bible's original contributors, starting with its creator Noah Levinstein, and eventually succeed in recreating the book. Alright, the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop. Alright, go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, please continue on. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. On the school ski trip, Katie, whom Stifler has been avoiding, is upset that she lost her virginity to him. She defeats him at strip poker, forcing him to apologize and go outside naked, where he is sodomized by a moose. Afterward, he bonds with a sympathetic classmate named Imogen. Nathan has sex with Dana in the ski lift control room, accidentally shutting out the power. Stuck in the lifts, Rob and Heidi reconcile and kiss, and Lube falls off. Ashley climbs down to him and is moved to tears when Lube explains how he really feels about her. Heidi and Rob return to the cabin to have sex, and Lube and Ashley do the same. Rob, Nathan, and Lube return the newly restored Bible to its hiding place, in the library after Rob had added his own signature. Cody finds an online video of himself playing a vacuum cleaner on his wanker, which to his horror has been viewed by almost 10 million times. Rob appears in the video broadcasting his revenge in the story. So, what did I think of the Book of Love? Well, it's alright and all. It's still kind of a little rough and raunchy in ways like the last ones were. Well, anyway, it has a reasonable cast, with the only cast member we actually get to see, Eugene Levy, once again as Noah Levinstein, which unfortunately would be the last time we would see him. As for our rest of the cast, playing Rob is Bug Hall. Most of you knew him best as Alfalfa from the Little Rascals movie that came out in '94. Yeah, and he was also in the Disney Channel movie Get a Clue with Lindsay Lohan. Playing Lube is Brandon Hardesty. The Kevin and Horton plays Nathan. Heidi is played by Beth Behrs, who would later go on to star with Kat Dennings on CBS's recent hit comedy Two Broke Girls. Dana is played by Melanie Papalia. Jennifer Holland plays Ashley, and John Patrick Jordan plays Scott Stifler. Now, this will also feature several other appearances, including Jim Wynorski. I've seen that name before. Curtis Armstrong. Most of you knew him best as Dudley Booger Dawson from the Revenge of the Nerds franchise, and the late great Sherman Hemsley in his last film before he passed away 3 years later as the pastor of the church scene. Of course, we all know Hemsley best from TV's The Jeffersons and also Amen. There will be cast appearances. You probably may or may not be quick enough to catch them, including Kevin Federline, who you probably know that guy. Plus, even the late Dustin Diamond, C. Thomas Howell, Christopher Knight, Peter Brady, Tim Matheson. Of course, you know him from National Lampoon's Animal House, Up the Creek, and even Van Wilder. Steve Railsback, Robert Romanus, and even Poison frontman Bret Michaels. Yeah, that was good. I wasn't quick enough to catch all the cameos. Rosanna Arquette's in this movie too, as she plays Rob's mother, as a matter of fact. Not bad. Music by David Lawrence. It wasn't too bad either, but it does have some pretty good tunes that I got to hear in the last few years, including Katy Perry's Hot and Cold and Fall Out Boy's Dance Dance. But anyway, but that's all about all I can say. With an okay story, well, and and a reasonable cast with some pretty good cameos and all that jazz and what have you. Would I recommend American Pie Presents the Book of Love? Well, I'd say, like the other presents movies, I'd say give it a one-time watch. If you're not satisfied with this, do not watch this again. Like I said, it's still a little bit more gets raunchier every time, you know. At least be thankful it doesn't have much of extreme raunchiness like we saw in the last two movies, though, but well, actually, correct in the last three movies, but anyway, that's about all I can tell you. Anyway, so what are your thoughts on American Pie Presents the Book of Love? You can tell me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And tomorrow night, get ready for my review of the latest installment, American Pie Presents Girls Rules. Thank you for watching, and if you like this, you may want to check out some of these other films I have recently done. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of one of the films I was talking about, Revenge of the Nerds from 1984, or go to the upper right-hand corner and see my review of another Universal direct-to-DVD title which came out the same year. And that would be Bring It On Fight to the Finish, the fifth installment of the Bring It On franchise. Or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of the warped out parody Not Another Teen Movie, which spoofs American Pie. And in the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.